Hello, amazing. What can you do when you work with someone who's really worried about stuff? Welcome to Reframes, the podcast where we invite you to take a different perspective on life. I'm Matthias Jakobsen. And this week, I've had that experience of working with someone early in a project, and this person was really worried about pretty much everything. And I had to do a significant amount of the actual making of the project, making it happen, getting it done. And I didn't feel so worried. And I tried to say this and explain why I wasn't worried, tried to, really communicate it, which I think is fair enough. Like, we all have different degrees of worry, and we need to manage that somehow. But what I did find after 2 days of having these meetings and trying to explain what I thought we should do and how I wanted to go about it, I found myself incredibly worried too. I found myself, not sleeping so well at night, waking up thinking about it constantly, not being very present when I was home with the kids. And so something had clearly happened, even though I wasn't initially worried, suddenly I was. And reflecting on it a few days later, I think it finally occurred to me that, it might be that this other person is worried, and I can absorb some of that worry and kind of carry it with me. But I could kind of see that it's not my own. It's more like somebody else has put a little weight in my bag, and I'm not obligated to carry that weight around. I don't owe it to the other person and to their worry that I also begin to worry. It's not an obligation. And so I wouldn't say that this solved it. It's not like a magic silver bullet that just makes it all go away. But it made it easier for me, at least, to handle some of the worry by recognizing that the source of it was not myself, and that, there's no obligation. I've talked about this also in a previous episode called Why Worry? That worrying is, you could argue, to worry is a habit, a bad habit maybe, but it's a habit and not really anything more or less than that. And so you can change that habit and worry less, unless you really want to worry. So anyway, what I want you to take away from this episode is mainly this sense of not feeling obligated. So if other people are worried about something, you might listen to it, you might absorb it, you might take it with you, but you're not obligated to keep carrying it. So if you notice that you're worried about something, even though you thought you weren't, see if the source is someone else, if somebody else has planted it, and see if you can kind of pinpoint where it came from, and then remember, you don't have to keep it. You can just, at that point when you recognize it, you can put it away and say, well, it's their worry, let them do the worrying. That's it for today. Thank you for listening to Reframes, the podcast where we invite you to take a different perspective on life. I really enjoy producing this podcast in collaboration with Niki Schmikis, who's based in Minsk, in Belarus. If you have, as you listen to this, if you have any thoughts or questions or comments, things you think we should bring into the podcast, please do get in touch. My email is in the notes section for the podcast. Please do get in touch. We would love to hear from you. My name, as always, is Matthias Jakobsen. Have a great day.